There was an old house on Oak Lane, one that everyone in the town whispered about, the kind of house that seemed to breathe with a life of its own, standing there in eerie silence, its windows like hollow eyes staring out at the road. No one had lived in it for years, but its presence lingered like a dark cloud over the town. People said it was cursed, haunted, and that anyone who dared to step inside would never return the same. But curiosity, as it often does, gnawed at Sarah. One chilly autumn evening, after hearing the usual tales from the old folk at the diner, Sarah, who was tired of living her life in the shadow of fear, decided to prove them all wrong. She was going to spend the night in the old house, with her flashlight and her phone for safety. She walked down the street, the sounds of the town fading into the distance as she approached the iron gates. The air was unnervingly still as she opened the creaking gate. Her heartbeat quickened as she crossed the threshold of the overgrown yard, her footsteps muffled by the dead leaves that had piled up. The house loomed before her, a decaying mansion with ivy creeping up its walls, its roof sagging under the weight of years of neglect. She stepped inside. The front door groaned in protest as she pushed it open. Dust filled the air as if the house itself exhaled after years of silence. The dim light from her flashlight flickered as she ventured deeper into the house. The walls were lined with old portraits, their eyes seeming to follow her every move. The air was thick, carrying the musty scent of decay. As Sarah explored, she heard whispers, soft at first, like a breath on the back of her neck. She turned, but no one was there. She told herself it was just her nerves, but the whispers grew louder. They were in the walls, they were in the floorboards. Panic began to settle in her chest, but she pressed on, determined to prove the legends wrong. In the upstairs hallway, she found a door slightly ajar. Her hand trembled as she pushed it open, revealing a small, dimly lit room. At the center of the room was an old rocking chair, slowly rocking back and forth, as if someone had just left it. On the walls, strange symbols were scrawled in what looked like dried blood. Her flashlight flickered again, and in the brief darkness, she swore she saw a figure standing in the corner of the room, watching her. She backed away, heart hammering in her chest. But as she turned to leave, the door slammed shut behind her. The whispers were now frantic, almost desperate, filling her ears with an overwhelming sense of dread. She fumbled with her phone, trying to call for help, but the signal was dead. The temperature in the room dropped suddenly, her breath turning visible in the cold air.